course, fighting Islam, what a dream, pound for pound. I'd say probably the number one, maybe number two guy right now, so it's a dream come true. Yeah, I know, that's the fight game, the media always try and say, what's next? Fighting Leon, it was, even before I even got to fight week, and it was like, if you win this fight, you'll be fighting for the title, so I guess that's just the nature of the beast, but yeah, I'm here to stay. I always believed the cream would rise to the top, and here it is.
Time never stops, and after a rather disappointing pay-per-view with Aspinall and Gain, the fire is about to return, because Della Maddalena and Islam Makhachev are stepping into the spotlight. The Australian welterweight champion is set for his first title defense, and waiting for him across the Octagon is the man who's held the big one pound-for-pound spot for years. This is going to be an unforgettable event. UFC 322, live on November 15th. And as the days count down, the tension keeps rising. Every hour brings us closer to one of the most anticipated clashes of the year.
Obviously, the welterweight has a lot of good challenges, but I think if someone like Islam wants to step up, you've got to give him the shot, pound for pound, one of the best, and it would be a dream to fight one of the best pound for pound guys in the world with my first defense. What is it?
Islam Makhachev! What a way to step to Dagestan! Kick from Makhachev! Huge moment in round one! That'll do it!
Before the cage door closes, we've prepared a detailed technical breakdown, one that every fan of skill, precision, and fight IQ will appreciate. So, drop a like on this video, and let's dive in.
Was coming in 11 days notice. He probably was a little fluffy, not in the greatest shape that he could be in. So it's very smart for him to start attacking the body. And when you get guys that are attacking the body and they hurt to the body, those hands automatically start to drop a little lower. So he was constantly throwing the front kick, boom, to the body throughout that first round, and of course the low leg kicks. Islam ended up hitting him early on that first round with a head kick. Volkanovski was kind of leaning away from the kick, which it wasn't as effective. If I throw a roundhouse kick and you move with the kick, it takes power off of that kick. The second time, hit him with it once, knew it was gonna go there again. He knew he could get that leg there again from an open stance. Let me attack the body a little bit with some front kicks.
All right, let's make things clear right away. What we're about to witness is a clash between a pure striker in Della Maddalena, a world-class boxer whose mission in MMA is to knock opponents out cold on the feet, and a world-class grappler in Makhachev, a wrestler and sambo specialist whose goal is always the same: take you down, dominate you, and finish the fight on the ground. To lay all the cards on the table, this fight might come down to a single question: can Jack land something big before Islam drags him into deep water? But that's not why you're here, right? You want the full, sweaty, technical breakdown, and that's exactly what we're about to do. So, let's talk striking. The Australian champion has elite-level boxing, and everyone knows it. His jab, hooks, and uppercuts are crisp. His combinations flow effortlessly between head and body. His rhythm, timing, and sense of distance are top tier. He's a sniper in there, smooth, precise, and always composed. Della Maddalena can knock you out with either hand, and he does it by finding the smallest openings. He's great in the clinch, works the body beautifully at close range, and his short liver shots are devastating, something that'll be crucial against a grappler like Islam, who will constantly look to close the distance and clinch. He's young, durable, and physically tough, traits that often make the difference when you're eating shots or defending takedowns. Now, his weaknesses. Jack's leg defense has always been a concern. He struggles against low kicks, and you can bet Islam will target those legs early to limit his mobility. Also, Jack's striking game is relatively straightforward. He doesn't rely on flashy spinning attacks or complex kickboxing sequences. He's a fundamentally sound boxer in an era of multi-weapon specialists, and that's both a strength and a limitation.
Oh, he's out! It's all over.
Now, let's switch to the Dagestani machine himself, Islam Makhachev, a world-class sambo, judo, and wrestling hybrid. Islam has built his entire style around pressure, control, and dominance. But in recent years, he's added layers to his game. His kickboxing fundamentals have drastically improved. While he's not the most creative or explosive striker, what he does works, because every strike he throws carries the threat of a takedown. That's what freezes his opponents. His leg kicks are sharp, his body kicks are strong, and he mixes levels intelligently. He's evolved far beyond the archetype of a Sambo fighter with an overhand, like Khabib once was, but he's not without flaws. In striking exchanges, Islam can still leave himself open, especially when closing distance for a clinch or a takedown. We saw that in his fight with Volkanovski. His head position was exposed, and against a sniper like Della Maddalena, that's dangerous territory. Jack's counterpunching is just as lethal as his forward pressure, so if Islam gets reckless, one clean shot could change everything. To sum it up, in pure striking terms, Jack Della Maddalena holds the edge. His chances to score a knockout skyrocket if Islam lets him work freely and dictate the exchanges. But if Islam keeps the fight messy, closes distance, and imposes his world-class grappling, the Australian might never get the chance to load up that perfect punch. If you let Della Maddalena work in the stand-up, he can make it an exciting fight. But it's no secret. I'm going to take him down, I'm going to control him, make him tired, and impose my game. Next up, wrestling. And let's be honest right away, there's no debate here. The clear favorite in this department is the Dagestani beast himself, Islam Makhachev. When it comes to ground control, Islam is one of the best in the entire UFC. If he gets on top of you, that's not a good sign. That's usually the beginning of the end. He has a magnetic grip, crushing pressure, and the ability to deny every inch of space his opponent tries to find. Once he latches on, he smothers you from every angle, drowning you under relentless control and submission threats. His submission awareness is next level. He transitions between chokes and locks with surgical precision. And his submission win over the UFC's own submission record holder speaks louder than words. After years of grinding and studying body movement, Makhachev reads opponents like an open book. He senses the slightest weight shift, the smallest window for a takedown, and he's in before you even realize it. There are practically no weaknesses in his grappling. The only possible flaw, and that's a stretch, is if he mismanages energy, burning too much gas early. But even that is a rare sight. So, does Jack have any hope here? Surprisingly, yes. His takedown defense and scrambling ability have been improving fight after fight. Look at his performance against Belal Muhammad, a former champion who spent years training with Khabib and Javier Mendez. He couldn't pin Della Maddalena down or make him look lost on the mat. That says a lot. Jack's athleticism and his ability to bounce back to his feet in bad positions are his greatest allies. He refuses to just lay there. His goal is always to stand up, reset, and get back to boxing range. A smart approach against a smothering grappler like Islam. Now, his flaws, he's still shaky from bottom positions. If Islam secures top control, especially from a dominant mount or half guard, Jack might find himself in serious trouble. And while scrambling, he occasionally leaves his neck or limbs exposed, which against a submission hunter like Makhachev is a death sentence. For this camp, Jack brought in Craig Jones, the so-called Dagestani killer, and even trained alongside Alexander Volkanovski, who once showed incredible defensive grappling against Islam himself. But the real question is that enough time to prepare for someone of Makhachev's caliber? That's still an open question.
I mean, it's just, I think Islam Makhachev is a better version of Belal. I think his striking on the feet is, I think it's easier, the striking on the feet, I think it's easier than Belal, because he'll stay in one stance, he's more traditional style. But yeah, he's the pound for pound number one, so it's a tough fight. But I guess we'll just watch all his fights again, make a solid game plan, and then just start working at it. From pretty much now, I'm going to start working on ways to beat him, different ways to get back to my feet, stuff in the takedown. But I'm pretty confident I can get this one done.
All right, we've covered the wrestling in broad strokes. Now let's zoom in on what really defines this matchup: the ground game itself. Islam's dominance on the mat is nothing short of textbook. His ground and pound positional control and submission setups are the definition of modern MMA grappling. But unlike someone like Paddy Pimblett, who jumps on top and starts flailing punches, Islam's approach is systematic destruction. He breaks you down step by step. First, he immobilizes you, locks you in place, kills your space, makes you carry his weight. Then he chips away with short, sharp shots, not necessarily to knock you out, but to force you to open up. Each strike is just a setup for something worse. The choke, the armbar, the inevitable finish. His ability to read transitions in real time is absurd. He can switch from raining elbows to sliding into a Darcy choke in a fraction of a second. You think you're defending your neck, and suddenly he's hammering your head into the canvas. Just like John Jones did to Gustafsson in their rematch, Makhachev's ground control is, in essence, an intellectual form of torture. Every move he makes has purpose. Every hold tightens the trap. Jack's goal here won't be to win. It'll be to survive and get back to his feet. He'll need to explode, scramble, kick, create angles, and never, not for a single second, lose focus. Because one small mistake, one moment of hesitation, and Islam will make you pay. His mission is clear: catch, control, and crush. Verdict for the ground game: absolute dominance. Islam Makhachev.
I think it makes sense. Obviously, Volk and Islam fought in Perth a couple of years ago, and that was a great fight, you know. And yeah, people think Volk, it was a very close fight. Volk did good, so I think it makes sense. A bit of a story there, and obviously, yeah, Perth blew the roof off the RAC, and I think if we could do it with the hometown kid defending the belt, would be even better.
And Islam's already tweeted at you a few times, and like the most recent one, he says, "You're not Volk. I'll show you there at different levels. Keep my belt clean." Do you have any response to Islam?
No, come get it. Come get it.
Now, let's talk physical and mental attributes. We won't overanalyze. These things are always a bit subjective, but here's the gist. Jack Della Maddalena is overflowing with self-belief. He's got that country boy toughness, that raw mindset of a man who fights not for fame, but for the love of competition and the paycheck that comes with it. He doesn't care about fame or spotlights. He just wants to fight the best and prove himself. Even when things aren't going his way, he doesn't panic. He trusts his composure, stays patient, and waits for his moment to strike. For his weight class, he's physically elite, powerful, compact, and dangerous. He keeps his knockout power deep into the later rounds, and that's rare. Now, Islam, his conditioning is world-class. His endurance lets him maintain suffocating pressure for all 25 minutes without slowing down. He's developed what we call champion composure. Every fight for him is like a chess match. No emotion, no chaos, just execution. He walks into the cage with the mindset of a predator. Methodical, disciplined, and completely aligned with his coach's game plan. Nothing outside the cage distracts him. His world narrows down to one goal: execute and conquer. He's shown incredible mental toughness and the will to finish even in the final seconds of a war. So, in our eyes, because of his experience in title fights against top-tier opponents, Makhachev holds a slight edge in this department. It's not a huge gap, but at this level, even the smallest edge can tip the balance.
I don't want to win decisions, you know. I want to get the finish, go after them. Yeah, when I get in the cage, I'm pretty aggressive. I'll try and go for someone, be aggressive. I want to put a stamp on the fight. Some decisions you leave and then there's still some ifs, you know, but you go for the finish, there's no if.
Now, let's talk about the clinch. The zone that could very well decide the entire fight. Because make no mistake, this is where everything can change. Can Islam Makhachev neutralize Jack Della Maddalena's hands up close, taking away his knockout power? Can he tie him up, drag him down, and suffocate him with control, shutting down those dangerous counter shots? Or will Jack manage to keep his space, punish the body with short, vicious combinations and knees, and force Islam to back off? Jack's bodywork in the clinch is one of his biggest weapons against wrestlers. That's why we believe every single time these two close the distance, it could redefine the fight. We absolutely understand. The clinch is a high-risk zone for the Australian, but still, he remains one of the best clinch fighters in the entire welterweight division. The only thing he must remember is this: Against a grappler like Islam, even a few seconds in the wrong clinch can mean a trip to the canvas.
Different fighters, the way I look at it. Islam is nowhere near what he was back then. He's so much better in every area. And so is Arman. So I look at two guys that are coming in at their peak, and I like to look at it that way. And let's just see who can prevail. And I really feel confident in my P4P #1 guy, and that's Islam. I just don't see anybody beating him.
Victory scenarios, final analysis and verdict from Jack Della Maddalena's side. There's one clear path, a knockout, most likely early, rounds 1 or 2. If Makhachev underestimates Jack's power and dares to trade with him, that could be a fatal mistake. There's also a slim chance Jack could find success in the later rounds, but only if he forces Islam to burn energy and lose momentum early. If Della Maddalena stuffs the first few takedowns, takes away Islam's rhythm, and starts landing clean, his chances rise exponentially. He could even score a shocking finish. But make no mistake, very few men have ever managed to push Islam to that point. Let's not forget another crucial factor: weight. Islam is moving up to a new division, bulking up for months to reach the welterweight limit. Meanwhile, Jack has lived and breathed 170 pounds his whole career. For him, it's natural. For Islam, it's an experiment. Now, from Islam's side, the odds are wider. If everything goes according to what Khabib once called the father's plan, Makhachev will secure clean entries, chain takedowns, and dominate on the mat. A submission victory within 3 rounds would be a realistic expectation. There's also the possibility of a systematic dismantling, a long, calculated breakdown over the course of all 5 rounds. Expect sharp low kicks to slow Jack's footwork, constant level changes, feints, and relentless pressure. A complete overload of Jack's defense systems, combining all elements of Islam's MMA mastery. Even if Jack manages to survive without being finished, such a pace and control would guarantee a clear decision victory for Islam in the judges' eyes. So, where does this fight truly balance? It all comes down to takedown defense. If Jack can keep the fight standing 70–80% of the time, he has a real path to victory. But if Islam consistently completes takedowns and holds him down for even 2 to 3 minutes per round, it's game over, and he'll do it without breaking a sweat.
You're finishing this one? I'm going to go for it. I would love, obviously, that'd be the best case scenario, get the finish. I can see it happening. I can see it blowing the roof off MSG, taking out pound for pound one, #1 with no doubts. Finish would be the dream.
Prediction. On paper, Islam Makhachev's style is simply a nightmare matchup for Jack Della Maddalena. The Dagestani is too intelligent, too disciplined, and too dominant a grappler to let Jack use his boxing freely. The most likely outcome: victory for Mr. Send him to Dagestan for 2 to 3 years and forget, via submission or ground and pound TKO in round 3 or 4, after a series of successful takedowns and sustained dominance on the mat. That said, we're not dismissing Jack's danger factor. His knockout power is the equalizer that keeps this matchup so electrifying. He has the puncher's chance, and that's what makes this fight so unpredictable, so exciting. What do you think? Will the Aussie sniper shock the world, or will the Dagestani king prove once again that his reign knows no limits? Drop your prediction in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown. See you soon, fight fans. UFC 322 is almost here.